So now you have a task to do. I want you to get a pen and write down junk, heart, and shaping / enhancement. And this is going to be your little homework assignment. So what we're going to do right now is find the heart of particular sounds. And this is essential in EQing because each kind of sound has a particular band that if you cut, it completely kills the sound and what it is. And that is your fundamental frequency in which you need to preserve if you want it to stick out in the mix. And we're going to be getting to EQing multiple things at once, hopefully. But for now, I want you to listen to this clap. So you can see it's taking up a broad spectrum, and what we need to do is use a single band bell and bring it down and sweep it until we hear that the sound is the heart of the sound is gone. So we'll do that right now. So right there, the heart of the sound isn't there, and I hope you can hear it. We're going to be going through a bunch more examples, so let's hop to it. Let's see. This one's short and stabby. Let's find out where it is. So right about there, same kind of area. Percussion or hi-hat will make the curve, the bandwidth smaller. Right there's the heart of the hi-hat. That's how you kill it. What's this here? So we have a percussion sound. This has a lot of high end to it. You can hear it. It could be very well 2 hearts, but some sounds do. This one obviously does not. We can hear we can see the heart of the sound here. Completely gone, right? So there's that one. What do we have here? Still, we can see with our spectrum. It can help us. The heart is gone. Let's see. It's a kick, right? The heart of the kick. There's arguably 2, the high end and the low end, but the heart would be around here. Right? You follow me? This is your homework assignment. Oh, we'll set this to normal. Right? This has 2, the low end, and the mid, not so much the high. So we'll get to that one later. Okay, I guess we'll get this one now. The vocals.
25, 25, 25, 25, 25, 25.
Right, vocals sound really unnatural when you take the heart away.
25, 25, 25, 25, 25, 20.
Right. So that is heart. And the heart is basically when you have 2 sounds and you want them to sit nicely. Say if you have the heart of one sound, around the 400 hertz range, and you have another sound that has frequency material in the same area, you would cut the other sound so the heart of the other sound will come through. It's all about making compromises and kind of using your ears. But the best way to do this is to go through a lot of sounds and find them on your own, right? And that is your homework assignment before you continue. It's really important that you figure that out. All right, so we're going to be going through them again, and we're going to be removing the junk. Now, removing junk could be done with a bell EQ, and we're going to add a high pass right about here, right? So this is another filter we're adding in, and a lot of the times, the junk in a lot of audio, the junk is the low end, right? And we'll kind of go through that right now. Let's see, and we'll sweep it up, right? We cut a lot of that frequency, and it hasn't really made a difference to the timbre of the sound, like how the sound is. That hasn't really changed it much. And the trick is to take away a lot of the sounds that won't really matter in the mix. Remember, it's all about how everything sounds together, not by themselves. But this is just an exercise. Right, so the heart of this sound is right about here, right? So as long as we have the heart not affected and everything below, around, everything below. This is very simple, but you will give room for the low end of, say, your kick and your bass, and it won't muddy it up, right? And this is junk, right? Easy junk is a high pass filter, and that's basically junk. You may be able to find junk in the high end. Right, so we'll leave that. We'll put in another filter, which would be a low pass filter, right? And we can see, we can roll off a lot of the high end of this clap. That's too much, really. It sounds unnatural. Right, and we can use a very faint kind of bell curve. To shave off the junk. Right, so right now we have a lot of the low end, if you can hear it. Right, you wouldn't want the low end of the clap to thud, right? Alright, we're going to be going through a bit more. So I reset that. Let's go to this one. Right? This hi-hat has been already processed. The high end has already been rolled off. We'll roll it off as much as we can. That's too much. Right? And EQ is just a bunch of filters. Remember that. We can get rid of a lot of junk. And it's always good, computers are powerful enough to have, as many filters as you want, really. Right, but we have all this content here. But it's a hi-hat. So what's the most important part? The heart of it, which is the high end, right? Hi-hat, right? So we will sweep this until we find that we affect it, and then we'll kind of pull it back a bit. This is a good kind of technique to do. Right? It's still there. It doesn't sound that much unnatural, so we'll pull it back. We'll move this down. Right, and turn it on and off. So right now we have this. It has a lot of mid end, which may interfere with the high end of the kick, a clap, other percussion, for example. Right, the heart's still there, and the heart's still preserved. And yeah, there you have it. So we're using filters and bell curve or bell EQs. What's this one? Right. Okay, so this is where it gets a little bit different. We want to get rid of a lot of the low end, so we're gonna sweep until we hear that it still sounds natural, but we want, kick and bass and all that fun stuff. We want the muddiness out of it. or the ring, you should say, the low end ring. Right, so we don't have the heart anymore. Right, we may do this, adjust the curve. Right, this is more advanced, but we're reducing it. So we still want the heart, but there's a lot of content directly above it that makes it ring. And then we will add another filter. Drop it down. So we're splitting. It's like a mathematical equation. We're splitting a problem into separate problems, right? And if you have difficulty, nothing's stopping you from opening up multiple EQ8s and just working it one by one. Say you have one EQ8. Okay, I want to repair the low end. All right. And then you just add like a filter or whatever, and then you go to the next one. Okay, this one's going to be for the mid to high, and then you roll off with a third one, right? There's no diminishing anything with anything. So we're still working on this percussion hit, right? We have a lot of high end. Maybe we could see we can roll this off gently. You see it here. We'll roll that off gently and see what comes about. Right, so I'm going to do on-off. And what that's doing is it's giving room for other things that may come along, and kind of smoothing it out and making sure it doesn't sound like, crap and whatnot. Okay, so we'll go back here, go to our next one. This one's a lot more interesting. Depending on your style of music, you might want to preserve that low end, but I'm going to roll it off. Right, so we killed the heart. Right, so we want that there. We can even kind of sweep it down more. Right? I can hear reduction or attenuation. A lot of people can't, so I should mention that you can do this to find the frequency that might be causing you issue. So it'd be about there, maybe. Roll that off. It smooths it out in context of your other tracks, really. It is low and muddy, and we've taken out the garbage and made it sound neat. Okay, kicks. If you know me, I process my kicks. Kicks have two hearts and a lot of garbage. Not so much in the low end. Right, we're gonna leave that like the sub low end. There's a particular area that I don't like. It's about there. Right, it's a muddy area, and that's about there. You kind of develop your own kind of techniques as you go. So yeah, like I said, the kick has two hearts. It's the low end, like the bump, right, and then it has a click. You can hear that, right? Hear that? There, I'll high pass it. Right, that's the click of a kick. And I'm gonna go into EQing separately. But yeah, kicks are challenging and whatnot. So basically, you get the idea. You want the low end. You want to get rid of this garbage area. And kind of lower this. A lot of the time you're reducing, but sometimes you're, enhancing. And that is, so we got heart and junk. And your homework assignment is to find the heart and find the junk of each of your sounds. Shaping and enhancement, that's a bit different. We'll look at this one. No, not that one. Right, okay, so we have this particular sound, and we want to shave off a bit of the low end. But say, the mid, you want to kind of make it louder. So you would kind of boost, and this is enhancing. Anything that's not junk and that's not the heart, that is where you enhance it if you have room in your mix. Right, you can enhance that, you can enhance, right? You want this snare to be more crisp, you can enhance the high end. Right, and that comes with a bit of experience, and it's hard to go overboard. You should not be enhancing a lot of things until you're good at solving and making everything smooth and you want to make everything sound like one track. Like all the sounds together make one thing. That makes any sense? You really shouldn't be, 95% of the time, you're going to be reducing frequencies and not boosting them. But there'll come a time, like say if you want to boost this, so this isn't poking through, then you'd reduce the frequencies and other sounds in your mix to make it poke through. A lot of you got to know kind of what you're doing to boost the frequencies, and I hope that made a lot of sense. And that is, junk heart, shaping and enhancement. Hope you enjoyed it. Another thing, boosting the low end. You really shouldn't be doing that, but if you want, you can with a high pass. Right, we'll drive with this bass here. Right, we got a lot of low end there. If you want to raise a frequency, you have to lower frequency right next to it. And that is a rule of thumb. Right, so if you have
25.
Right, we have that.
25. 20.
Okay, we'll try to use this as an example. So if we take this out,
20, 25,
and we don't raise that,
25, 25,
right?
25,
25, 25.
25.
You boost that.
25, 25, 25.
So if you lower a lot,
20.
You have to raise a lot, kind of.
25.
So like whatever you do next to it, you should always. So if you lower, or you want to raise something in your high end, you immediately kind of lower this, especially in the mastering stage, like your master EQ, and it's just like a rule, and for some reason you have to do it. That makes any sense? But yeah, hope you enjoyed it, and thumbs up, like and share and subscribe and all that fun shit. Okay.